Alright, what's going on, chat? Hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Go ahead and get things dialed in here. Hopefully this should be good. Oh, this would help, wouldn't it? Taking the cover off definitely helps at times, for sure. Well, how's it going, chat? I hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. What do you call it? In case you missed it, the new battle report is out. So it took me a while to get that one done because it had 3 players at 1,500 points. But it was a lot of fun no matter what. And someone pointed out we got to try Grand Tactical with 3-player, which is going to be... That's going to be a editing project for sure, but we'll do it one day. But I hope everyone's doing well. And we do have another battle report that we filmed the last week that I'm going to be editing this weekend, along with just working as always. I'm busy fly tying at the moment for businesses and stuff. But we have a 2-player game with Demolition, which I don't think we've done Demolition. It should be our actual first Demolition game. So that'll be fun. And then after that, I don't know. We'll see. I think we should try and get we should let Rev get some time, get the zombies done, because I would like to film the new Totencore platoon, versus a Firefly platoon or something. I should probably work on getting some 3D printed torsos for the rest of my bits or something, or work on my maybe resin print some better stuff or something. So, I don't know, we'll see. But today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the Festung Europa book, which let me go ahead and bump up the ISO here. Now, I also got the Blood and Plunder book, which we could always maybe take a look at later. Red did drop off a box set of this. So we have a giant pirate ship that we do need to build at some point, and a small pirate crew. So that is something that's in the works. I just wanted to have that out as well. But really, we're going to be taking a look at the Festung Europa book. And this is the new campaign book for Konflikt. So I wanted to wait a while because I know there were some people that were, didn't want too many spoilers or anything like that. I haven't really looked through it myself all that much. I know it has amazing artwork and it has some lore. But what we could do is take a look at some of the units and things like that in the book, and maybe some of the details, some of the missions, stuff like that, and just kind of overall just go over it is kind of the idea. But in the meantime, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to pull up the Konflikt website and some other stuff, and let's swap over the music. This is our battle rep music. Let's play some nice Resident Evil save room music, which we always love here. I was going to go fishing today, but I've been so busy working. Also working on some music stuff. We're working on some new songs for like Konflikt videos and stuff. Whenever I try to write lyrics, though, it's always just so cringe. So I think it's just going to be instrumental stuff, like heavy guitar riffs with like solos. But I have been working on some music stuff for the battle reports and maybe short cinematic videos or something, you know, if you will. So real quick, let's see. Pull up Warlord and all this stuff. Let's take a look at the Warlord website. It's been a while. I just need to deactivate and reactivate real quick. There we go. Pike and Shot, huh? Let's take a look. You know, I haven't looked much at Pike and Shot. These look like they would probably have great turnip minis. Start collecting. The 30-Year Wars. So what, like, era is this from? Wow, the miniatures look fantastic, though. These are a little basic, but these would make amazing Turnip 28 miniatures. You get a dude with a thing and a cool hat. It's pretty cool. Man, look at the size of these, like, lances or whatever these are. These pikemen. Look at that. I'm assuming this is like accurate in terms of size, but I feel like this is probably a pain in the, like, you're gonna break these, right? The new Ottomans are out, Rev's saying. In what? In here? In Pike and Shot? Or... Oh, you got samurais. Toyotomi Hideyoshi. I'm not going to butcher their names. These are beautiful miniatures. That's cool. This picture is very low profile, unfortunately. So the English starter, Scots. Getting started with the Landsketch. You can get copper or steel rod replacements for spears. Nice, so you can like actually spear yourself on them. I do like that they're so like, they're so large. Scots, so let's see, is this where the Ottomans are? Let's take a look. Battaglia or something? Is that like an Italian or something? The Dragoons. So this is like musket era cavalry. Oh, here we go. Ottoman Janissaries. Whoa, Janissaries. Hey, I love me Janissaries. Nice. They look pretty cool. Dudes with drums. Whoa. Yo, Sean. Thank you so much for the... Well, first off, yes, hello, and thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You psycho. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Way too kind. Way too kind. Thank you again. Appreciate it. If you got a membership, we got Chicken Detonator. What a fantastic name. That's like a band name, honestly. We got Brits Commonwealth. We got DB. We got Matthew Kimber. And Altheus, I think. Hopefully I'm saying that... I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But enjoy the memberships. And the emotes. Thank you so much. You're too kind. So we got just some Janissaries. But is there like a full-on Ottoman? Let's just look for Ottoman. How about that? Oh, dude, we got purple, like, ASAPs. These, like, what do you call it, skirmisher dudes, bow dudes. I love, like, look at the color scheme. If this is what the actual color scheme of their outfits were, I love it. These would be great to be, like, speed paints. Arca Bruisers or something? These look like bolt action rifles or something almost, but I guess are they muskets? Deus Cluck. Here we go. The highest throne Ottoman collection. Sheesh. Damn, dude, they got the fit. You can't deny it. They got the fit. These guys look sick. Yalla. Oh, well, if there was... Not that I have money or anything like that, but one day. This is looking cool. I like this. I've always wanted an Ottoman army. This is also Crimean War. With actual Turks. Or like, you know, officially Turkish. Probably not Ottoman or whatever. Actually, I don't know. When was the Crimean War? Because I don't think Turkey actually got independence till the early 1900s, like almost right up until World War II, I think. There was a 13 or something long civil war. Well, these are very cool. I'm assuming this is this is the black powder. Very cool. I like it. I don't see enough about it. I love the Hussars too, because I've played like even though I love the Ottomans, the I know there's like the Magyar or whatever from like Age of Empires, those Hussars. So do they have the winged Hussars for the Ottomans, or are the yeah, here we go. There's the winged Hussars here or whatever. Dude, when I used to have these things in Age of Empires 2, when I got up to the 3rd age or whatever, and I was able to spam the Hussars, and I just had them running rampant through people's, like, through their, breaking through their, like, gates and coming and, like, smashing their, all their buildings. I loved it. The winged Hussars are awesome, dude. Oh, they're Polish, Lithuanian, Commonwealth? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I don't think they were... I don't know if the Ottomans... They had Hussars, but they didn't have the winged Hussars. The winged Hussars was like a certain thing. I think the Magyars had it in Age of Empires or something. So these are the Lithuanians, huh? And then you get Ottomans as well, it looks like. Because I'm assuming maybe it was Ottomans versus the Polish-Lithuanian or something like that. Oh no, this is all Polish-Lithuanian. Okay. Gotcha. So where was the name of the... Oh, I guess the highest throne is like a new campaign book that covers the Polish-Lithuanian armies and the Ottoman armies. Gotcha. I see. Okay. I don't know jack shit about this, so it's fun to look at. Dude, these guys, I love these guys' outfits right here. These look so cool. And I do love the, like, all the different colors and stuff. That's pretty sick. That being said, though, I love the winged Hussars as well, so. Those are, like, my favorite minis out of all those, I'd say. Well, that's cool. Unfortunately, starting a whole new army for a whole new game, that's gonna be, we're gonna have to wait for that. So is there any new Nothing yet, other than the, we got the new British with B for Birdie and everything. And the Bears. It's for the deluge period. Gotcha. Little. Gotcha, not light. Arquebus came before muskets. A light. Or a little more primitive. Yeah, is that how you pronounce it, right? Arquebus? Gotcha. So they kind of like look like rifles, but they were just like more primitive firearms. Dude, these guys look sick. I do like the Schwertruppens. I don't necessarily think they're good, but I kind of like them almost more than Stahltruppen at times when I was putting together the Schwertruppen zombies or Totencore. They looked really nice. I like Rev's paint job. But I want to see this dude. I haven't seen this dude. Rev, you got to use the freaking medic guy. Why have you not used this dude? Look at him. He's all like covered in boils and stuff. That's like minus cool points because you've always used Heinrich Ross with stormtroopers with your axes. But I've not seen this cool guy yet. How could you... This guy could be like your own army leader right here. But now there's like a fancy dude. Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. That guy looks sick. Yes, my secret laboratory. My secret laboratory. See, I have to do the German. I forgot. I just want to take a look real quick. Whoa, United States bolt action objective markers. That's pretty cool. We could probably just 3D print boxes and then cut out spare guns that we have from sprues and make something like that. So this is a cool idea. I like this. But this could be fun. I do like the power armor guys. I haven't used them once and I don't know how good they are. Probably Paragons are better, but still, they look pretty cool. They're not like cool enough though to where I'm willing to get them. You know what I mean? He'll be in the Totencore? Alright, cool. Yeah, that guy has to be like a regular platoon commander in your Totencore army. Because he fits the aesthetic perfectly. Dude. I gotta say though, these guys with like Alton looking welding helmets with like leather mocks or whatever, like welding, like, you know, leather mocks they're wearing just because they're working with Tesla. These guys look sick. This almost looks like a Russian Alton helmet, like a mix between a Russian Alton helmet and a welding mask. So I gotta say that is pretty cool. They're like, well, what do we do? This is like blinding people when they use it. Oh, we'll just give them like a welding mask and some welding gloves. We'll just use thicker hide. Like really thick welding gloves, so you wouldn't use it for TIG. That's sick. Alright. Let's see, we'll just take a look at every army real quick. I always like to take a look and just see. Yep, we got the new stuff. Nice Walker platoon. 135 bucks. That doesn't seem too bad for all that. It's a big walker. Big metal walker. So I think... Oh, this thing looks sick. The Hornet. I love the look of this. This really... So this is like a mix between like a Kodiak and something it looks like. Or like, yeah, the Grizzly. This reminds me of BioShock to the max. Like, if you scale this down to be like a Big Daddy looking thing. That's so cool. And I love the Percival, dude. I mean, this is freaking rockets or multi-launch system and a Tesla, I'm assuming. This is what I would have... I know the Merlin's the cool guy. The, like, OP walker that everyone loves, but... Not even that OP, but... The British have such cool vehicles and stuff. Like the tanks. This always gets me. The freaking Bren carrier. Unbelievable. Soviets don't exist, like Drugov. No. Oh, this is sick. This would be a really good way of just getting into the Japanese, I feel like. Are these assault? Yeah, these are assault, right? Yeah, because these are SMGs, I think, right? And they all have what melee, it looks like. So you get your assault frame infantry. You get your, like, officers or something. And what is this? This dude's carrying, like, missiles? Is this, like, a missile launcher group or something? What's that guy holding right there? Yo, Cosmic. Oh. Appreciate it, my friend. Coming in with the super chat. Played 3 games of K47 this week. Buster Rift. Hell yeah, dude. Also love the 3-way battle report. Yeah, that's always fun. And Chris now is going to have a British army. Rev helped printed a bunch of stuff for him, so he's going to have a cool British army. So we're going to have hopefully one more person to play on the channel at least. This guy's sick. I don't know. It looks like he's holding like a Halo gun, like a Covenant weapon or something. I don't know what that is, but I do like this. This is nice. And you get what, a Chiha Walker, I think it's called. An Inigo. That's cool. I like that. I kind of like this more than that, honestly. To be honest with you. Like, you get the book and you get the thing. But, like, this is... I think if you're getting in, this probably... I kind of like this more than that. Honestly. I mean, you get ghosts, which is cool. But here you could have 2 squads of assault frame. And the 1 lighter walker and the Inigo. We're finding out Rev's a Japanese main. He's like, he's finding his Japanese honorable path. You gotta get Shibitu, though. You gotta get Shibitu squad. Because we need some Tiki Terrors. For sure. I just played the Brits for the first time, and they were their auto cannons were nuts. They aren't too tough, though, once you get amongst them. Yeah. In melee, I mean, it's a little tricky because they're toughness 7 with Mark IIs. But, I mean, they're so slow. So, like, that's the one thing. Any sort of movement-based missions, the Brits really have a hard time with, specifically heavy robot armies, which is what Rev's been using because that's all he has, you know what I mean? He doesn't have a ton more models. I also ran the zombies. We'll probably post pictures later. The new zombie platoon is awesome. You just keep bringing back more and more zombies. I ended up with more zombies than I started with. I'm not going to lie. In the last battle report, I don't want to spoil it, but I was rolling hot on my Totem Core dice, and even the normal Totem Core, a 12-man Totem Core, they got shot the entire time by, like, 2 different armies, and they survived, like, the entire game, you know what I mean? Up until the end, I think, cinematically, we had them all die, but they were still alive. So, yeah, the Totem Core are wild, and the fact that you can have an entire army or platoon based off of Totem Core, and you're going to have a Walker platoon, or whatever, that makes Totem Core. I mean, I'm telling you, that is going to be wild. I can already tell you right now, the game that we play with that is going to be like, I need to be on my... If I'm playing the US, I really need to be careful because... but I have found that the zombies are... If you just put enough firepower into them to just take them out, generally, you can do good. But the problem is when you start getting into the dice... This is what we found out. I didn't realize this. I thought it was once per turn you could activate the Rift Die and regenerate zombies, but Rev pointed out you can just do it as many times as you have active dice. I had 2 surging dice because I used Rift Mastery with Little Peacock, gave them a surging die. Then I rolled a surging die at the end of turn, so the last turn, on turn 7, I would have been able to regenerate zombies 4 times in one turn. So that's the potential for 24 zombies to be reborn, which is crazy. So I did not realize that. I thought it was a once per turn thing. So if you can find a way to use Rift Mastery and give Totem Core surging dice, and then you can, you know, with your Totem Core platoons and stuff, I feel like you could do some, like, it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? For sure. But the one thing is they're slow and they can't capture points. So this is what you do. You focus on the units that do score points. So you can't take too many zombies and a bunch of walkers and then not have enough scoring units. That's the thing. So one thing I found is when I brought really walker-heavy lists for the US, all Rev needs to do is kill my 4 infantry units and my 1 platoon or 2 platoon commanders, and then I can't score anymore. So that's probably one way you can combat it, but if the zombies die by the Mac, you can revive zombies D6 by busting a rift die on the Mac for corpse harvesting your own guys. What do you mean by the Mac? What's the Mac? Oh, is that the mech you mean, or like the Noctzer or something that's called? Well, we're gonna take a look. Speaking of which, it's probably a good time to transition over. Let's find out how all this stuff works. The Mac got you, yeah. I don't know, maybe, what's his name? This guy, Von Zogling? Maybe his nickname's the Mac. I don't know. Control of the rift is worth any sacrifice. Why, I butchered that. First off, the book's fantastic quality. I have the starter softcover book, but the hardcover is really nice. This is Rev's book. I have the hardcover bolt action book. Very nice quality books. The living are bothersome. They balk at the unpleasantness of war. The dead are inscrutable. They are perfect soldiers. With the dead, we will yet make perfect soldiers of the living. Hold on, but I have to do it in German accent. The living are bothersome. They balk at the unpleasantness of war. The dead are inscrutable, though. They are perfect soldiers. With the dead, we will yet make perfect soldiers of the living. I gotta work on it. I have to play some more over the top, because I play as, like, World War I, Germans, and I'm just, like, screaming in that shitty accent the whole time. He is a Mac. He's a Mac daddy of all the zombies. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe you guys got some cool lingo, you know what I mean? You kids with your lingo. First off, beautiful artwork. There he is. There's the guy right there. And are these American bombers, I think? I just saw they pointed this out on the... Somebody saw... Yeah, there is an American thing, so it's probably like a B-52 or some sort of thing. That looks cool. Beautiful artwork. Did they say who does it? Who did the artwork? It's not signed. Oh, it's signed somewhere at the bottom. Something with an H or something? I don't know. Okay, we're not going to read everything. We're going to take a look. The Dead City. Oh, the atom bomb fell on Dresden. Whoa. So I don't want to go over all the lore stuff, because I know some people, like, they don't want, like, spoilers and everything, so we're just going to take a look. We're going to look at the mechanics, really. But I haven't even read this. This is sick. Oh, that's probably sounds like a good place to get a bunch of zombies then, if that happened. Now, this artwork I love. I saw this while scrolling through it. Totem core zombies right here, mixed with Axis. So these are like, not totem core zombies. These are fireflies right here. Firefly zombies. So you can see right there, they're mixed and they have like, check out this Shrek wolf in here. The Shrek wolfen's face is like gone. So is that like a zombie Shrek wolfen, or like what's going on there? Or a bad mutation or something? That, I mean, that is just so cool. Are these like the walkers that they have? Oh, I guess that right there, for instance, is the new one of the walkers that can like make zombies. Yeah, okay, I see now, I see. And look at this, there's Americans dropping Tesla bombs out of the sky, dude. Honestly, I thought it was a zombie bear trooper. Oh. You know? Oh, it is. Nope, I missed it. You're 100% right, because the fold. That's the same thing that the bears have. That's the same, like, injectors that the bears have. Alright, well, thank God that's not a thing. Ursus infantry zombies. God, could you imagine? Game over right there. But I gotta say, something I just realized, like, the Tesla bombs dropping in the background. Like, unguided Tesla bombs. That's a really cool idea. That's the stuff I'm really interested in this book, is the art, man. Oh, these, like, fireflies, they look like an alpha squad. U.S. Rangers encounter the first Riftborn horrors in Bokoj country. Ramp down in 20 seconds. Remember your training. Listen to your sergeants and corporals and you'll be alright. Okay, chaps? This is it. Oh, this is probably an Englishman talking. He's like, yeah, we'll send the Yanks out to the zombies. One of those mechs is new, yet to have a model. It looks like this one, right? Or something, or one of these, or something like that. I want to see a two-legged zombie mech inspired thing. You know what I mean? Instead of the spider styles. The Totem Core's problem. They just like oh, they like rot. So they have to, like, keep them in colder weather or something? Or keep them as docile? Battle of the Bulge. Oh, here, I know who that is. That looks like Roberta Wells. Yeah, here we go. So now she's got a Firefly backpack. And she's like, probably now that all this stuff's going on, she's like been given like full clearance. The Trinity Rift still holds many mysteries, but despite all we've learned from it and its energies, there's nothing that puts us close to understanding or replicating what those so-called necromancers are flooding through Europe. Dresden must be studied. Roberta Wells lands in. Hell yeah. Yeah, the Paragon program in 1945 is in Area 51, I believe. At the outset of the Paragon program, for every slammer Samuels quote-unquote produced, they were around 10 failures. What became of those subjects is only whispered in the laboratories of Area 51. Noctcore reaped their bloody harvest over the long winter. Uh-oh. A bunch of British dudes by a fire, all like beat up. About to get eaten. So this is interesting. I wanted to take a look at this. Yo, what's going on, Valor Games? How you going? Yeah, you need a refrigeration truck. Got to read about your favorite character, Drugov? Uh-oh. Hopefully he's still in Siberia. Area of operations, Europe and the Near East. The 12th of February, 1947. So the Soviets, looks like they are still in control of part of, because I believe they originally were, right, in the USSR or whatever. But Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, Romania, Hungary, Poland, East Russia, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. So wait, where is Ukraine? Do they not have it on here? Because wasn't Ukraine a country back then, or what? Is it somewhere in Axis territory, it looks like? No, Ukraine would be over here if Poland, right? Yeah, no, Poland's here, so Ukraine's back here. That's why they're not showing the further... Yeah, right? That's how that's how the map works. Sorry, I'm an American. Because what, it would be like Estonia? Oh yeah, Estonia's over here. And this is also probably older maps too, so I don't know if the countries still look like this in terms of borders. So the Axis made it into... or in part of Poland. So it looks like the Soviets, like, pushed them back to a certain point. When I guess, because we got to think about the real timeline of, like, Soviets and the West intersecting into Germany at the end of, like, 1945 or whatever, at World War II. So I guess whatever, this is, like, the point that they're at, or the stalemate they've reached since the rift has formed or something. One thing I hate, Turkey is under Axis control, so I would love to make the Ottomans, but have them be the resistance. The good guys. Just like Turkish resistance, essentially. Not Ottomans, but... because Turkey was, at the end of World War II, allied. It looks like southern Italy and France are under U.S. and British control, which I thought was hilarious. They don't have their own control. Like, France doesn't have its own control. Sweden, Switzerland, Spain, Portugal, and Ireland are neutral. And... yeah, pretty interesting overall just to look at. It looks like the United States has full control over Africa, on the North Africa, which is really interesting. And the Brits have control over, what would be under Turkey? This would be, there's like Syria and like you're getting near like Israel and all sorts of countries in this area. Very interesting. It's interesting how they, how they go about it, thinking about it, or approaching it. So I'm interested to see what, like, any sort of African campaign looks like, or is it all restricted? Is it like, or what's an American campaign, Bohemian stands. How's it going, Valor? Hope you're doing well. And yo, Boot Mountains, what's up? I forgot. Sorry to, I didn't say hello. I read your comment, but... jaw tension. This is like showing the tissue darkening, incisions, grip reflex abnormal. They're talking about how, some sort of, zombie documentation. Operation Valentine. So I don't want to look at all the lore in case some other people want to read like the specifics. But very cool. They even have the battle movements of the battle over time or something. So, ooh, America attacked. It was just like a scare or something. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure they're going to be doing something at some point. Heinrich Gross. Is it Gross? Gross? I call him Gross, I think. Gross? I don't know. I change it up. Give me a Stahlkampf group. It will be done. Okay, cool. The Allies have already pushed through Africa and Italy and are now getting pushed back. Gotcha. So they're gonna like probably, if they want to do some sort of African campaign or something like that, they can do it to where it's the now the Axis are pushing into that area, right? Scenarios. So there are scenarios and things like that. This one I think we will take a look at. This is the one with the gigantic walker. So this is like your 6x4 board, and that's what the walker would take up. That's how gigantic it is. It's this one right here. So we actually have the... did you get the files for it? Because we still got to make sure we get it. Or somebody can get it for us if they got it. 2,000 points of US. Minimum requirement for the first assault platoon must consist of a Firefly platoon commander and 2 Firefly airborne squads. If any armored platoons are taken, the platoon commander or vehicle must be a linebacker. If any armor walker platoons are taken, the mandatory unit must be a linebacker. Okay. The Axis. The Axis list builds a force of 1,500 points. The normal force selections apply. Minimum requirements for the first assault platoon of a Stahltruppen officer and 2 Stahltruppen squads. The only named hero that may be taken is Heinrich Gross, either as a company commander or second as a, either as a company commander or seconded to any platoon as normal. Second wave, to represent delay of the Commonwealth, the 14th Automated Division. You can use the following modifications, reduce points, this and that, okay. So there's a deployment strewn with ruins and debris representing the cities under bombardment. Add plenty of scatter terrain. Defenders must set up all their units within a deployment zone. These units use the hidden deployment. And the defenders are the Axis. As the attackers DZE. Attackers units are not set up on the table at the start of the turn. The attacker must nominate at least half their force to be on the first wave. This can be their entire army if they wish. Any units not included in the first wave are left in reserve. The attacker must destroy the Strombrace, or whatever it's called. Defender must prevent its destruction. There's a preparatory bombardment, subject to a number of rules that behaves atypically to other unit profiles shown overleaf. How do you destroy it? I guess just damaging it? Yeah, looks like damaging it. Damage value 12. Oh my god. But it's a vehicle, right? So if you like... you could melee it, I guess. Stuff like that. It would take me weeks of printing. Well, get on it. No. We could always do it at some point. We already kind of have the middle section, so we could just make legs, I guess. We could, like, do our own thing. Just make something similar. Armored all around, crushing blow, gigantic rift engine, light automatic cannons, rift accumulator, Stromries, and vulnerable underside. Vulnerable underside. Close quarters attack and range attacks at point-blank range strike the normal, more vulnerable bottom of the Stromries, treating its damage value at 1 less than normal. In addition to any penetration bonuses normally conferred for being at point-blank range. So, theoretically, Tesla slug profile. Let's say you're within 6 inches with a Firefly. It has 1 attack at +2 pen. You're getting... do you get the +1 pen for being within close quarters combat? I mean, being within the 6 inches for the penetration bonus? Is it only penned weapons get that or something? Or does Tesla not get it? Or does the, well, it's not Tesla, but do the slug profiles not get it? I forget. But that would be plus 2 pen. Then minus 1. So that would be, it would be damage value 11 minus 2. Do you go, so it'd be 9. So what, you would need a... Wait, no, so you would need like a 6 to... I don't know. I always have a hard time figuring this out. So let's see. It'd be damage value 11 underneath. You can't damage it because you're only at plus 8 pen, even with a 6. Right? So you couldn't necessarily even damage it with fireflies underneath. And unless it does, if it does get a penetration bonus, it would still be, you'd be getting plus 3 pen. So even with a 6, it'd be damage value 9 as your highest roll. And it's still damage value 11 from underneath. So you'd have to like melee it or something. I guess if you had some sort of maybe auto cannons or something, you could damage it. Whoa, this thing's crazy. Rift accumulator. Any unit, friend, or foe assigned an exhausted rift die whilst a Shroom Reese is in play may re-roll the result. That's pretty cool. That's chaos. Gigantic rift engine does not need an order die. May never move, can never receive pins, and passes any morale checks it might be called upon to make. Shroom Reese entirely blocks all line of sight in the same manner as dense terrain. A Shroom Reese ignores all vehicle damage rolls with the exception of knocked out. The first time receives a knocked out result, disregard it. The second time receives a knocked out, the Shroom Reese damage value is permanently reduced by 1, but the result is otherwise disregarded. Third time, it's becomes destroyed, becomes a wreck. Does not make close quarters combat attacked, and is never considered to be locked to close quarters. If an enemy unit executes an order and moves within or remains 3 inches of any Shroom Reese's feet, roll d6 on a 5-up. That unit suffers d6 hits at plus 6 pen and suffers d3 pin markers. Holy crap! I don't even know how you go about killing this thing. I'm sure you guys do, but I would probably lose the first time trying to figure it out. Sheesh. Alright, well that's crazy. First off, look at how... See, this is kind of what the Armageddon... This is what we should do for our game, Rev. We should do this for our, like, special game. We have, like, this piece right here. So why don't we just make some foam legs or something? Because how cool is that, dude? This looks like what I picture the epic game. You know what I mean? Like the... And it's 2,000 points versus 1,500, but you get to have a gigantic thing. So, I don't know, that's pretty cool. Operation Pluto. The Red Army enters Slovakia. Oh, so this looks like a Red Army and a Axis game. Commissar Gregor Drugov. See, this is what this mofo actually looks like. This is why he looks like a little bozo with his mini. Meanwhile, he's actually like a gigantic... No wonder why he's so goddamn strong. Look at the size of that. Is he eating a Totencore's head? It looks like. I don't know what he's doing, but... Did he bite the Totencore's head off or something? That can't be sanitary. We have the soldiers, we have the weapons, we have the science, we have the means to propagate change across the world. Meanwhile, his mini is like 6 foot tall or something like that. Better undead than red. Hell yeah, brother, hell yeah, I can get along with that. I could drink a beer with a zombie. I ain't no communist, tell you that much. Hell yeah, that's what he actually looks like. He's like bigger than Ursus infantry and all that. There's like, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Get updated, bozo. Here we go. We got the sick Noxer crew identifies fresh recruits for the Toten Legion. Yeah, some sick stuff. Alright, so we got another scenario. Harvesting the Dead. Force 2,000 points of Soviets. Must contain 2 basic infantry. May only contain a maximum of 2 specialist or advanced infantry squads. Maximum of 2 non-transport vehicles may be taken. There's no limit on the number of transports. And the only hero may be taken is Drugov. Axis 2,000 points. First assault platoon must contain at least 2 Toten Corps. Force must include at least 2 Noxerers. So this sounds like the perfect scenario for us to play once you get the zombies done, honestly. 6x4 board. So this is what the map would look like. Okay, pretty simple. Oh, the River Elbe is on the backside here. Objective: the attackers must harvest as many enemy units as possible and convert them to Toten Corps or otherwise destroy them. The defender may escape their envelopment and withdraw as many troops possible from the battle zone. That sounds like a fun one. I know we don't like doing the run off the battlefield, but this is cool that one side is trying to like turn you into zombies and these guys are like, get the hell out of here. That's kind of cool. In this scenario, the defender is allowed to move their units off the board via the attacker's DZE. So you would have to... Okay, that's why there's a river blocking on this side. Thematically, you have to go the other way to get across the river or something. I like that. That's a cool game. Victory. The attacker scores 5 victory points for each new Toten Corps unit generated as a result of the Corpse Harvest active rift enhancement triggered by the destruction of an enemy unit. If an enemy unit is destroyed and the Corpse Harvest enhancement is not used, I'm not going to... Lichtenrichenshire enhancement is not used, then the attacker instead gains 1 victory point. Okay. Note that no victory points are scored for the use of the enhancement against the destruction of a friendly unit. Defender scores 3 victory points for each infantry or artillery unit that withdraws from the battle zone via the attacker's DZE. Defender also scores 1 victory point for any infantry or artillery unit entirely within the attacker's deployment zone when the game ends. One side scores 3 or more victory points than the other, it's a clear victory, otherwise it's a draw. This sounds like a fun one. And it's a 7-turn game on a 2-up. Or on a 3-up. Interesting. They also have variants and stuff. Damn, look at that art. That is just beautiful. Oh my god, look at that. Look at the fidelity on that. On that drawing. I'm sure it's probably done, like, you know, digitally, because a lot of art nowadays, they use, like, a digital pad to draw with and stuff. So it looks like there's definitely, like, some effects going on there, like some overlaying or something. But that just, like, looks unbelievable. It's probably hard to see because my stream isn't even in, like, super quality, but man, gorgeous. Got another big old game here. Looks like Soviets versus Axis. Ooh, we got some more stuff here. So let me see what else we got. So we got units in the back, or is there no units? No, there's no units. I forgot. It's all online. I forgot. So is there not even... There's no new, like, weapons, right? So there's no, like, stats or anything in here other than that. Interesting. Huh. So this is a Firefly version, or Firefly game. This one looks fun, too. This is a... Fireflies amongst the ranks of the dead. Oh, they like saw their own buddy get turned and they found him later and had to kill him or something or take him out. American morale is plummeted from it. From like these encounters, is what they're saying. I would imagine. So, seeing your buddies turn into zombies. Ah, there's Zogling, huh? Von Zogling. Can't see the hot pink tiger stripe camo in black and white? True, true, true. See that look? Dude, that Roberta Wells looks sick, that art. I kind of wish the model actually looked like that. That looks like a comic book character or something, doesn't it? That's some cool art right there. I gotta say, some of the art in this book has just been fantastic. Oh, this is where you have Roberta, Wells, and B for Birdie. Is that a mouse? So I think the Americans, like, can get B for Birdie or something. Wait, did I miss the scenario, or is this just... Scenario, touchdown. A minimum of Firefly Platoon or Roberta Wells. And you can have Roberta Wells, but it doesn't say B for Birdie. So maybe that was just a separate or a different thing. Using the Axis Army list, no heroes. Or you could just pick whatever for Axis. It's more the Americans have a limitation. Ooh, this looks cool. There's 3 flak batteries. Check that out. Well, Rev's got it. You haven't seen it yet, but he's working on it. I think we showed you guys on the last stream last week. It was short. I mean, I don't know if you saw it. You probably weren't here, but I think we gave you guys a little sneak peek of Rev's. He doesn't have Discord on his phone, otherwise he could show you. So there's flak batteries. I'm guessing this is, one of the coolest things was in the old Call of Duties. It was either Medal of Honor or Call of Duty, but back on like the original Xbox. But I remember one of the first missions that you get, you're like an airborne, like either the 101st or like 82nd or whatever, and landing in Normandy and taking out flak batteries behind hedgerows. I remember it was like one of the first missions you do in one of those World War II Call of Duties or something way back, way back in the day. Might have been Medal of Honor or something for all I know, or like an old Battlefield. I don't remember, but one of those. So you got to destroy the flak batteries. Scenario, Power of the Rift. You need Fireflies. And Roberta Wells. The Axis, you got to take Zogling. Objective, the attacker must destroy as many Rift science facilities as possible while ensuring the survival of as many of their own units. They also must secure the withdrawal of Roberta Wells. The defender must attempt to prevent this and recapture their prisoner. Oh, so like Roberta Wells is like getting broken out of Rift prison, and the U.S. are coming in with Fireflies to blow up all of the facilities of Zogling. That sounds sick. I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, Axis players the defender with your Rift facilities. Yo, that's sick. That's a cool one. I like that. See, I like these. We gotta like make our own missions too, because there's so many cool things you could do. Like whoever talked about the capture the flag, I forgot who mentioned it. I think it was Gabriel mentioned it last week. Units with flight. No. Which one's this? Oh, this is escape prisoners. It's the same stuff. Rift Science Facilities. At the end of any game turn, a Rift Science Facility is destroyed if an attacking unit is within 3 inches of it, unless the attacking unit also meets one of the following conditions. It arrived from reserve in the same game turn, it has been assigned a rally order, or it is within 6 inches of a defending unit not locked in close quarters combat. This includes any unit in the rift facility. It can be destroyed instantly if it's hit by HE. Or discharged from a rift. From the rift. The rift storm. Oh, there's like a rift storm event that happens. Ooh. Alright, we gotta read what the rift storm does. Start of turn 2, add any rift die to the dice bag of a different color to either player's rift die. This dice represents the rift storm. Return this die to the bag at the turn end phase, regardless of the results rolled when it was drawn during the turn. During a turn sequence, when a rift storm die is drawn, follow the sequence below. Roll the rift die and determine the result of determine the potency of the rift storm for the game turn. Roll a d6 to determine a table quarter. On a roll of 1 to 4, choose the appropriate table quarter as designed during setup. On a roll of a 5, the attacker may nominate the table quarter. On a 6, defender may. Place a 4-inch template in the center of the relevant table quarter, then determine a random direction. Oh my god. Roll 3d6, move that template in number of inches in the indicated direction. The template reaches the edge, then it has no effect or something. Resolve the relevancy of the storm in the template's final position by the given result of the rift die's roll. Exhausted. Any unit under the template suffers d6 hits that ignore cover with +4 pen. Suffer. Oh, excuse me. Jesus. Suffer d3 pin markers. This can trigger morale tests if it causes at least 50% casualties. It always strikes top. Active, so if you roll an active dice. Any unit under the template suffers 2d6 hits that ignore cover with +4. Man, this just sounds template. If the building's hit, it will collapse if 10 or more hits are rolled. Surging, any unit under the template is immediately destroyed. Heroes may use statistics to circumvent their destruction. Statistics may still use hero statistics. Any building under the template automatically collapses. Additionally, all rift. Oh my! This sounds crazy. God forbid that you're under that template. And you roll a surge. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Definitely a lot to deal with, but pursued by the Harvest Man. Alright, let me go. I need to grab a drink, dude. I've been talking so much. Let me go grab a drink real quick, chat. We'll keep looking over the rest of this. There's a couple more scenarios. And then what we'll do is I want to look on the Konflikt website and look at the actual units so we can get a better idea of how some of the new units play and all that. So just give me 1 second, chat. I'll be back in a moment. I got to grab a drink. I'm like running out of, what do you call it? I'm running out of moisture in my mouth talking here the whole time. So I'll be back in just a moment, all right? What I'll do is I have the Resident Evil music for you guys. All right. Appreciate you folks hanging out, by the way. Thank you so much. And what do you call it? I'm excited to play these new scenarios. I don't know. I've been yapping a lot, but what do you guys think? I think the scenarios sound pretty sick. The, what do you call it? The rift, like the rift buildings and the rift storm going off sounds interesting. I think, like, what you could do is you could incorporate that rift storm thing really into any game, right? That doesn't need to be a thing for that scenario because there's rift buildings. I think that could be a fun thing where it's like, it's a random event where it's like you could roll and like Rift Storm could be one of the events that could happen, you know, because you could have a game with deployment. You can have your mission type, and then you could have like a, like an event or something that you could roll, or like a, you know what I mean? I forgot, what do they call it in Warhammer, where it's like, you know, the fog of war and all that. You could come up with some stuff like that if you wanted to add it, just to add a little bit more flavor to your Konflikt games, because in reality there's only so many missions and things like that. So you could totally make it to be like, are we doing Rift Storm today? You know what I mean? Any scenario specific terrain I should print? I don't think there's like little laboratories and what else? What was one of the other missions? There was the river one. That one, I think there's just ruins. We don't need anything for that. Yeah, maybe some sort of like smaller industrial like science buildings or something, you know what I mean? Some sort of science-y or some sort of like laboratory buildings or something, because they're like these little, I don't even know how big they are. They're not very big, but they're like these little facility buildings, but maybe some sort of like little industrial buildings, because I feel like any sort of thing like that would just look good in conflict no matter what. Because we have ruins, we have like the old French buildings, and we have like city buildings, but maybe some like sort of like small like, you know, some sort of like more like modern industrialist thing or something. Some hab domes, yeah, hab domes would be sick. Even though it's like, it's conflict too, so why not? Maybe they're like in doing some weird thing with like a, you know, little some like, you know, dome structures or something. Exactly, some weird stuff like that. I like that. The weirder the better. You know, for us, the weirder the better for this channel. All right, chat. I'll be back in just a moment, and we're gonna read the rest of or take a look at the rest of the scenarios, and then we'll take a look at some of the units and all that too. So be back in a sec. Appreciate it. Alright, we back. Let's take a look at the rest of the book here. So, we saw the power of the rift. Pursued by the Harvest Man. Take that off. Let me zoom in a little here, too. So, we got 2,000 points of US. We got a Firefly platoon commander, or Roberta Wells, Firefly. And 2 Firefly airborne squads. No power armor units may be taken unless they have flight. The only field artillery unit can be taken as light artillery, and the only anti-tank gun teams that can be taken are light anti-tank or medium anti-tank gun teams. Any vehicles must have jump. Only hero can be Roberta Wells Firefly. And it's against Zogling, Totencore squads, and the 2 Knockdaggers. So this is like the whole box set for the Axis that Rev just got with the new hero. You must have at least 2 Totencore squads and the assault platoons, and the 2 Knockdaggers. It does say note. The Axis can best attain victory in this scenario through the use of the SDKFZ 501's active rift enhancement. That's the Knockdaggers, I'm assuming. So we got like a little road scenario set up with some like hedges and stuff. And objective. So the defender, which is the US in this scenario, must withdraw as many units from the battlefield as possible. The attacker must attempt to prevent this while harvesting as many troops to augment the Toten Legion. So this is like, seems like a similar thing. During turn 1, must first bring the first wave from the DZE. Oh, and the attackers are like come in right there, huh? That's interesting. Breakthrough. In this scenario, defenders allowed to move their units off the board through the attacker's DZE. To do so, they must all move. So it's like right there, though. Your US are right here, and the attackers are deploying right there. It did say no power armor unless they also have the flight special rule, which doesn't exist. Right there. So is there going to be power armor with flight in the future? I don't know. Because why would they even list that? Because there is no power armor with flight, right? In the US. So I feel like they put that on there specifically for something in the future. Oh, Roberta Wells has a special version of light power armor. Okay. Well, they mentioned her, so I don't know. Maybe they're going to have special light power armor troops in the future or something. I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to, like, go over it in detail. Any rift units in the defender's force are deployed with their rift die to exhausted. During the turn end phase, the defender rolls any active or surging, they must immediately re-roll them. Oh, wow. And it stands unless using a point of luck. So attacking units arrive on the first wave from reserves using a run order may immediately declare an assault. Oh! This seems like a crazy, this is definitely a crazy mission. Because they're like right there, too. Oh, let me turn this down a little bit. Hey, I'd love some power armor jump troops. I know, look. Never say never. They can always add things. Attacker, the Axis win by, for each new Totencore unit generated, triggered from the Rift enhancement or whatever. Defender scores 2 points for each unit successfully withdraws from the battlefield edge zone on the opposite the attacker's DZE. That makes more sense. I was like, you can just leave there, but they're also just attacking there. Yeah, some power armored jump troops sounds pretty cool to me. Like, damage value 6 jump troops. Maybe they would need, like, really heavy jump pack, or, like, double. What you could do is you could get, like, some sort of power armor US troop, and then give them double jump packs or something, you know what I mean? Or maybe jump packs on their legs as well, you know, like boosters out of their foots. Or something, or their feet, their foots. Yeah, out of their foots. Operation Valentine. So it looks like we got the Brits versus some shock troopers and stall troop. And this could be a fun one because we have a stall trooping army and a British robot army. Oh, knocked ballin'. Skirt, skirt. Bring it down! That comes from us playing Warhammer whenever Rev would get the thing. I don't know if that's Mordian did it. Like, that was a Mordian thing. Like, Rev got that from, like, watching Mordian streams, or if he just, or Joe's streams, or what. But he would always yell, bring it down! Dresden Defiant. Is this the last mission, or no, we're done? So is there no mission for the, or is this talking about maybe where it's at the next step or something? Oh yeah, it's probably like mentioning with the robots or something, or... Okay, very cool, man. I gotta say. Fantastic. I bet when we finally get some augmented power armor for the US, they'll have jetpacks. Yeah, yeah. It kind of makes sense. They probably will be like maybe a little bit slower, but they'll have like the jump capabilities. Because I mean, you have jump walkers, right? So why couldn't you have a jump power armor, dude? Whoa. Ah. I see. So this is what they were talking about. I am going to read this. First off, look at the art at the bottom. What do we see here? Very Japanese looking art, and it looks like ghosts, and it looks like a new Japanese walker, because that is not a thing that currently exists, it looks like. All units, the conditions are favorable. Amarata smiles, is that how you say that? Amaterasu smiles upon us. The way is open. Execute. Signal intercepted off the coast of California. The 3rd of July, 1947. First off, I was about to say July 3rd because I'm an American. Okay? Dude, the day before the 4th of July? God damn, they picked a really interesting time to potentially invade the United States the day before the 4th of July. I mean, you want to talk about a patriotic day. I'm sure there's reasoning behind that. There's some symbolism on the Japanese part, but that's interesting. So it looks like we're already, our Japanese invading the United States is already in the works, so we don't have to do much work. We'll let Warlord handle it for us. Round of applause. Round of applause. Great book. A lot of lore. We didn't go in deep in the lore, but you could sit down and just read this. Read the lore, dig in. There's really, I would say, do you need this book? No, you definitely don't need the book, and that's a good thing on Warlord's part. All of the unit specs are up on the website and all that. You still need the main rule book. But this is more like if you want to try out some of the narrative missions and you want to get more in-depth lore, you can get this. So, which is nice. It's not like, well, you need to buy this book so you can play the game, essentially. You know what I mean? Which is really annoying when they do stuff like that in games. But and Yo Cosmic coming in with the brand new membership, dude. Thank you so much. Round of applause. with the new recruit, which I love how everyone who pays for their own memberships is in the new recruit phase, but with the gift memberships, they're seasoned vets. The new recruits are actually the real season. You guys are the, don't worry. You guys are the real, you put in the real hard work, you know? I had some of the pictures. I had some of the pictures and a bit of description of what I learned about the zombies from my last game. I love the new zombie platoon. I'd love to get some more time with it later on. Well, I tell you what, you definitely have enough zombies, Cosmic. So I think now it's just a matter of tweaking the list to as you see fit, you know, and trying different lists. You know, and I think it's going to be fun no matter what. I'm excited to, because now Rev has, what do you call it? Rev has his Totem Core, so I'm excited to try it out for sure. So, Cosmic versus Mike when? Well, here's the thing. Ed Scar is, in the future, we're going to, eventually when we have time, we're going to play a Konflikt game on Tabletop Simulator. So, I think I'm going to try and figure it out. I'm going to get it set up myself as well. And theoretically, technically, really only one person needs to have it, and then you could do a Discord call. But it'd be nice if if one of you guys, or if you guys have Tabletop Simulator on Steam, then we can essentially play, because it's just mods that you download from the Steam Workshop. So I would love to play against Tiki. I would love to play against Ed Scar. And some other folks, some folks from the community as well. So, that's something that we could hopefully do. I think they're adding more mods. There is some mods Ed was talking about. There's like a decent amount of German and American units, but not all of them were like working properly, because they were like brand new mods. So, yeah. But I think that would be cool. Where and when, I'd be game if I could schedule a time. Oh, well, it'd be in the future. It's not coming up, anytime in the near future, but it would be whenever. We could do it whenever. I mean, my schedule is pretty open, so, during the week would be the best time. But it works whenever. But the idea is that we could, play some games on there and make some, like, short battle reports out of it. I need to see what it looks like. And, like, how I could go about making it entertaining, if I wanted to do, like, a video. But it could also just be live streams or something where we play against somebody from chat or something, you know what I mean? So, anyways, that's something we're thinking about. That'll be in the future. We need to, like, figure it out. And hopefully the community keeps doing what they do awesome in Tabletop Simulator and adding more mods and things like that, so... there's also the Bolt Action game. So I really hope no matter what, when the Bolt Action game comes out, we have an official Bolt Action tabletop video game. So that right there, we're going to play Bolt Action games 100% with chat. I don't know if I'll make videos out of it or something, but that's like something that'd be a fun stream, is playing Bolt Action with chat. So I'm excited for that too. That's going to be on Steam. But I think that's not even they don't even have an announced date. That's just, they're saying they're developing it at the moment. So, anyways, that's something that we're going to do in the future. The best thing, we really want to get more people on the channel, but it's, we don't really know many people locally that play Konflikt, and it's also I record from my house, so I need to make sure I'm not inviting complete random people over or something like that. But I think over time we'll get more and more folks, hopefully, that we can get on the channel or something like that. So we're not play on tabletop. We can't fly Cosmic out, or we can't fly what's it called? We can't fly Tiki out, or him or someone out. But maybe in the future, I'm sure we could work some stuff out. I could submit my background check. Okay, there you go. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, I'll have Rev on it. Rev's the manager. So we'll have him vet you over a couple beers or something. All right. Let's take a look at the Konflikt units real quick. That's something I'd like to do. I'd like to play some games with you folks. So the easiest way would be to do it on PC. So we'll just have to figure it out. I have a joke on so I'll explain it. It's dumb, but I have a joke on my Fly Tying channel, as long as you guys don't show up with assless chaps, because I used to rent an apartment from this fly fishing and hunting guide, because I tie flies for a living. So he was this old Italian guy, and he'd be like, oh, yeah, Mike, can you go down to the store and get me some wine? You know what I mean? He's like this this fucking Italian guy. And from, like, you know, Brooklyn or something. So he had this, like, Brooklyn accent. It's like high. It was just funny. But on there, he had another fishing guide friend. Like, these are both professional fly fishing captains. And but they were like, you know, just like anybody. They're just normal dudes. But he's like, what would you do if this guy showed up on your doorstep wearing assless chaps? And I don't know why, he would always bring it up whenever his buddy came up, because they were, like, riffing on each other, making fun of each other. And I don't know why, but that just stuck in my head forever. So, like, the idea of, like, someone is showing up to your house with assless chaps, and you're like, okay, cool, I guess. But I don't know why. That's just something that's like a little joke we have on my other YouTube, or my other stream. But we'll have to, it's now lore here, so as long as you don't show up with assless chaps, we can play a game, sure. Hell yeah. Do all armies have 5 rules, or? I feel it. I don't know. Luckily, they're all assless. Well, there you go. Well, you could just maybe... Yeah, I guess that's how chaps work, huh? Well, maybe they have, like... You can convert them from chaps to pants. As long as you got the little attachments. So, well, there you go. His entire statement was an oxymoron from the get-go. So I've based my entire joke on that off of an oxymoron. So that's great. But I like how you're the first guys to actually bring it up. Everyone else just laughs about it. But you guys are like, no, actually... all chaps are assless. Well, look, what do you guys got in your closet? Is all I gotta say. Okay. Well, we don't judge around here, first off, right? But you guys really know about your chaps. The butt flap. Rev's painting Stone Core in assless chaps, right? Or in chaps. I don't have to say assless. Sorry. I think we looked at most of these, the Zogling. But after looking at the thing, I just wanted to look at a couple stuff real quick. I wanted to look at the rift ability on the Walker. Because I don't think we actually looked at this when we did it last time. Noxshare. SD KFZ 5011. The development of a new serum solution by the enigmatic Oberstadt Albert von Zogling. Oh, it's Zergling. It's not Zogling. I'm supposed to be saying Zergling, aren't I? It's actually pronounced Zergling, but I've been saying Zogling. So here's the thing. In my mind, I've already convinced myself it's Zogling, so I'm gonna keep screwing that up. And when I'm doing a battle report, and I'm like, it takes me like literally 3 hours at times to do like the voiceovers, and I'm just like, I have to re-record stuff. I guarantee you I'm gonna call him Oberstadt Albert von Zogling. I guarantee you I'm gonna say it. I just realized right now it's actually spelt Zogling. I thought it was spelt Zergling and it was pronounced Zogling, but I mean, you know, why are we? That's on them. Zuglinen. Yeah, there you go. That's on them. All right, they know at Mike Rolls Dice I have a hard time pronouncing unit names. They fucked me. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Dr. Z. Yeah, but it's so much fun. I love going like, fire the lasers. So it's like Oberstadt Albert von Zoglin. It's like what you did the other day. What do you call it? Uber or whatever, like something Little Peacock. And I was like, oh my god, I have to do that. It's just fun. It's fun to do it. It's fun to say. I try to only say knocked ballin' when talking about my knocked ballin'. But if it's knocked Albin, I only said knocked ballin' one time, and then I said knocked Albin on the most recent game when Rev was using them. Alright, I made sure of it. Because when I say knocked ballin', I go scoot scoot. And if you don't hear that, then I'm saying knocked Albin. Okay? Damage value 8. Thank God. I was going to read all this, but now it's all good. It's like a hermit crab. This is what I'll... Hermit crab, serum, temperature controlled, blade, insect, or inject, corpse, efficiency, living, Walking Dead. There you go. I just picked random words, and that kind of summarizes everything. It's got 4 legs, so it's going to be making 2 leg attacks at plus 2 pen. 12 inch, 24. Regular 9, veteran 10. Okay. Dead Machine. When a friendly totem core within 12 inches rolls for its Dead Rise Again active ability, add 1 to the result. Oh my god, just like playing the totem core the other day, it was so much fun. This is like, oof, this is fun. Nailed it. I like that. I don't even see myself playing this army that much, but it sounds exciting. It's got multi-legged. Medical implements. At close quarters, knocks Zaherers? Noxzaherers. I don't know, I'm just going to say Noxzaherers. Arms, I guess they count as arms, right? Wait, does it have arms? It just says it has legs, though. Oh, left and right arms. My bad. So it has 4 legs and 2 arms. Okay. Pretty good. 1 arm attack, 2 leg attacks. The arms have plus 2 pen rather than 4. Whenever a Noxzair defeats an enemy unit model, infantry model, of a maximum damage roll of 6 plus that does not have computational system special rules with close quarter... what? Whenever a Noxzair defeats an enemy infantry model of a maximum damage value of 6 plus. Okay, I understand now. So like a Paragon that does not have computational system special rule with close quarters combat attacks from its arms or legs, roll a d6. On a 4-up, generate a new Totem Core model. It immediately joins the nearest Totem Core model within 12 inches. Note that this can bring a Totem Core unit above its starting number of models. If no such unit exists, the new model cannot be placed in formation with the Totem Core unit, then it's lost. Okay, so you can't make a new unit with that particular rule. Okay. But can you do that? This one you can. Oh my god. Alright. Volatile load. If it's not... oh my god. Will this one explode? If a Noxzair unit is knocked out by an enemy shooting attack original from its rear arc, an infantry or artillery friendly unit within 6 inches immediately goes down and suffers d6 hits plus 1 pen. We got explosions. Let's go. I love it. That's what I've been wanting. I want the Tesla tanks to explode. I want the Rift tanks to explode in mechs. Like, it's one thing when a regular... I mean, to be fair, when a regular tank explodes and all the shells cook off, it's not a fun thing to be around. But I feel like when, like, some sort of, like, mini nuclear explosion's going on or something from Rift energy. So this is sick, that D6 hits for any unit, infantry or artillery, friend or foe, within 6 inches of it. And it's only from shooting, not from close quarters combat, so that's cool. So, yo, what's going on, Birdie Fly Fishing? What the hell are you reading? We're reading a rule for the new zombie unit in Konflikt 47, which is what do you call it? If you don't know, I have another YouTube channel called Mike Rolls Dice where we film battle reports of tabletop games, and this is one of the games we cover. So I still stream on Twitch when I stream on Mike Rolls Dice, but every once in a while we get some fly fishing folks who are like, what the hell are you talking about? Roll for each affected unit separately. If any vehicles are affected, the hits apply to their top armor. So if you are getting a plus bonus from being within close quarters combat, you will be... and it's getting knocked out. You are going to be potentially suffering... you are suffering D6 hits, and you're going down. If they've not been issued an order yet, retrieve an order dice. So, you need to be careful with that, but I'm so happy that there is a freaking exploding vehicle. Because that was one of my favorite things in 40K, because it like never happened either. This automatically happens if you shoot it in the rear and it gets knocked out. So that's kind of cool, because you're shooting the backside of like a highly volatile rift canister of like zombie juices, you know, and stuff. It's gonna explode. Hell yeah. I like that. That's one of my favorite things that I've read. I mean, this is all like really straw and stuff. This is my favorite flavor-wise thing, that it actually explodes and causes damage. That's so cool. I'm so happy about that, because we didn't read this unit last time we went over this. Gets 1 rift die. What's its weaponry? Just an MMG. So it's not a shooter. It's gonna have 4 shots with an MMG because the buzzsaw rule. So it's really, its whole thing is generating and regenerating zombies. Active Rift Enhancement. This is the big one. Lichtenshire or something. Corpse Harvest. If an infantry unit of a maximum damage value of 6+ without the computational system special rule, friend or foe. Whoa. Friend or foe. I had to just stop there, sorry. Within 6 inches is destroyed, it may use this enhancement. Exhaust the rift die. Deploy a new unit of totem core to the battlefield comprising of D6 models, as if they were disembarking the Noxer. Except that they are deployed with their rift die set to exhausted. This enhancement may only be used once per game turn. Okay, so once per game turn. Now, if you have 2 of them, can you do it twice? You can, right? Because you can do the Paragon thing once per turn, per Paragon. So, the Inferno one is good for any access list. The Fire version does the same thing, also goes boom. Oh, there's a Fire version? What was I gonna say? I completely forgot now. Oh yeah, so this, if you have 2 walkers, you can do it twice. Or each one can do it once, right? So you want to set these up in a way that they will be in position to where you think they're units that are going to die. Like maybe there's like Japanese infantry units. You could put these in the area, shoot them, and then they'll like, you can exhaust the rift die, and then you'll have like a wall of zombies in front of your walker now or something. It's pretty interesting. You got to be within 6 inches though, which makes sense. So you do need to. I mean, luckily though, you'll have so many zombies. Like you can just like, you could be brain dead in the zombie plays because the zombies just kind of hang out. You could use all your brain power to think about how you're going to use your Noxayers and your other units. That's what I would do. No surging bonus, and may not be given advance or run orders if it's exhausted. Loses dead medicine special rule, and that's where you... that's where you can add one of the results of the total. I mean, dude, this unit is just full of good abilities, right? How much does this thing cost? 155 or 186? I mean, it's not shooting, but it's giving +1 to your totem core on the result. It's in close quarters combat. It's making new zombies for old totem core squads. It blows up, which is cool for everybody because it's sick. And then it creates new totem core squads. Wow. Dude, that's crazy. And now we have the Inferno Spinner. So are you telling me we actually have a cool flamethrower? Or is it still a shit flamethrower vehicle? This looks way better. I'm going to tell you right now. Where is it? The Flammenspinner. It literally... Rev printed a Flammenspinner and we use it. He's like, I don't know why I printed you this. It's terrible. It only has a flamethrower. Its damage value 8. It does have Recce. But he was like, I don't know why we printed. I don't know why I printed this. It sucks. So it sounds like the Inferno Spin is better. Let's see. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Everything is a zombie now. That's crazy. It also works when your zombies die. You can just bring your zombies back from complete death to working again. Yeah. I was thinking I just need more zombies, but probably cooler just to use the dead models. What do you mean? I was thinking you need more zombies, but it's cooler to use the dead models? I'm confused. Are you going to use, like, when some models die, you're going to, like, take some and put them there? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because it's not like they would turn decrepit right away. Now, here's what you got to do. You need to have an entire separate army of guys that are all screwed up looking and have been shot and their heads are all screwed. You know what I mean? So why don't you go ahead and start working on a backup army for every army you have, and all, you know, and for me too, while you're at it, if you're not busy. And just separate models just to represent the dead versions. That's, if you imagine how psychotic that would be. He's like, why do you have 2 armies? Oh, this is for the dead version for your zombies. God damn, this guy's serious. I think I'm gonna lose. He's got 2 armies? What? That'd be cool though if we have the one day in the future we take, we make some Ursus infantry zombies, we make some Paragon zombies, you know what I mean, specifically for this sort of scenario. We'll see if there's some like 3D prints I could do in the future. That would be cool just to have around, or something for videos and stuff, cinematic stuff. Inferno Spinner, 135, 162, HMG in the front, 1 vehicle flamethrower mounted across both arms. An Inferno Spinner may not make close quarters attacks with its arms. So, it's got the 2 arms. And it's only 1 flamethrower? Or is it 2? Is it like a flamethrower on each arm? The vehicle... Oh, so here we go. Inferno Fura. I love that name. The vehicle flamethrower may be fired by either arm. The left arm can fire into the left arc. The right arm can fire into the right arc. If fired into the forward arc by either arm, and this weapon hits, you may re-roll the result of a d6 plus 1. Ooh. See how many total hits it multiplies into. Alright, this is already better than a Flammenspinner. For sure. And it's got volatile load, so it blows up. So every time I've used the Flammenspinner, I've always ran out of ammo with the flamethrower, as I usually do, and then I just charge it. I just run through all of Rev's units just to screw him up. Now I can run into his units and then have it blow up. Like, go right back. He's got, like, let me think of a scenario. He's got, like, Daughters of the Motherland. He's got Heroes of the Soviet Union. He's got the platoon commander with the flag and something else. And I just run the Flammenspinner through all of them, stop in the most important area, and then, have it explode. It's too bad you can't have it explode. Like, you can't just choose for it to explode. That'd be fun. And this is the Panzer IV Walker. Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Now, what if I just take the Flammenspinne and put 2 arms on it? Thoughts? You know what I mean? Charge in reverse. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. What would be the reasoning for that? I don't even realize, but it sounds cool. Is there a rule saying you can't shoot your own unit in the back? Probably. It's in the wording, I'm sure. I'm sure it's in the wording, like you have to declare an eligible target and you probably can't target yourself or something. It's probably, I'm sure it's in there. Because there's people that like us that are like, well, it doesn't say I can't shoot myself with a flamethrower. I bet you it's probably something in the... We can take a look. It's probably something to talk about with the targeting and stuff like that. Let's take a look. Man, the nice... Going from a hardcover to this. There's probably something... Shooting. Declare targets. Pick a target and declare you are opening fire. Normally a target is a single enemy unit and the firing unit will fire all of its weapons at the target unless the firing unit includes high penetration weapons. Only those models that can draw a clear line of sight to their target and whose weapons are in range can actually shoot. So I guess the idea is, can you draw a line of sight on yourself with the flamethrower? Like, I don't know how that... It doesn't... I'm trying to see, like, I don't think it... I guess, like, it doesn't specifically say. I guess we'd have to look at the line of sight. Same... Oh, exceptions. Or intervening fire. Infantry and artillery models are always allowed to see and shoot through other models in their own unit as if they were not there. This is because the unit is assumed to be in constant motion, its troopers working as a team not getting in each other's way. Models are not allowed to shoot through other friendly units or draw a line of... It does say other. Or draw a line of fire within a model from another friendly unit. If it's shot 1 inch of... it's not allowed. Hold your fire does not apply to, has no impact on the friendly. It doesn't like specifically say, but it's definitely, you're like being an asshole if you try and be like, I can shoot myself. Like for sure. I don't think that it would be like, they probably have to do a thing, because I don't think it's specifically, it says you can't target other friendly. And if there is, throw it out. Fuck it. I was just wondering. That's what foobar is for? Yeah, but you foobar, you shoot another unit. It's just interesting. Like, these are things like that they probably didn't even think about. They're like, but why would they want to shoot themselves? You know what I mean? Yeah, there's nothing that, like, I guess specifically... We'd have to take a look at the FAQ. But I'm assuming they don't want you to do it. Yeah, they're very much about the wording in this, so. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything. It doesn't look like it. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder, can you just declare yourself as a target? Shoot yourself with a flamethrower as a Nox there. Oh, man. I mean, no matter what, it's probably going to get blown up. But, so, what does Rev do if in that scenario where he's got the platoon commander, the Daughters of the Motherland, and the thing, what is he not going to shoot it? Like, he has to blow it up. But I guess he can get away from 6 inches. He could try and move everything first. Right? But then he's got to, like, try and deal with it. So, I think no matter what, taking that thing, and particularly if you run out of ammo. If you run out of flamethrower ammo, you charge that thing headfirst into a giant infantry blob area. and I guarantee you it'll probably do something. It'll take their attention at the very least, if not cause some serious damage. Not one unit shoots itself, but one of your units shoots it. Oh, you're talking about... No, then you cannot target a friendly unit, it says. I thought you guys were... Because I know that is in the book, but I thought you guys were talking about, can it shoot itself? I got what you're saying. Yeah, no, it specifically mentions that. But, yeah. You did the exact same thing? Yeah, well, it happens a lot. Like the Flammenspinne, you know, at least compared to like a flamethrower infantry squad, when you run out of flamethrower ammo, they're kind of really useless. There's like one dude with a rifle, right? At least with the walker, you can take that thing and do some melee damage and stuff like that and still get some use out of it. You can... Now, you just saw, hopefully you watched it by now. I don't want to spoil anything, but Rev, and I'm telling you, he's incredibly intelligent. We didn't realize he was going to do this. Charging the tank into the Totencore, not to try and do any damage, and they're fearless, they're not going to need a morale check, but to push them away from the point, so he can now move his platoon commander in, or another, like the Ghost, and now score, or attempt to hold the point. So, you can think about, this is really interesting with point capturing objectives in Conflict, is using walkers and vehicles to specifically kick Totencore off of the objective, because they have to move an inch away. So if wherever you place yourself, they need to move away from you. So it's pretty interesting, to say the least. I'm sure you could there are probably ways you could like potentially work around it or something like that and still be within objective range, but if you set yourself up in the right way, I guess. But that was unexpected, because the way I set up, I didn't think that was going to happen. So it just goes to show that you can use vehicles as like something like a Flammenspinne or an Inferno-Spinne. It maybe doesn't have the best like super melee profile out of all of them, but you can use it just as like a straight up tech piece. You know what I mean? Especially something like the Flammenspinne or whatever. Like, what's a Flammenspinne? This is 135. Flammenspinne is 105, so Flammenspinne is really cheap. That's a nice thing. But for an extra 30 points, I'll take a Inferno-Spinne any day. You know what I mean? K47 is so great with the rules. It's like they actually thought about having rules that interact with each other and just needing to master them. Yeah, and there's definitely things that are there's some weird interactions that we still struggle with, but you know, the cool thing about Conflict, it's a slow burn game. You know, it's a game that it's not going to be getting new editions every year or 2 years or whatever, so they can tweak things, they can always adjust things, do FAQs, you know what I mean? But for the most part, the game does flow very nicely and interact with itself very nicely. So, it just, the thing we have is sometimes there's some discrepancies when it comes to reading certain, like, wording, where me and Rev look at each other and we're like, what? Like, what the hell? We're trying to, like, we're sitting there, we're reading it, like, 3-4 times, like, wait, let me think. And then there's some things where it's just, like, the book layout, where it's like, oh, we'll check this page for this, and you look at the page and it doesn't have it or something. But, for the most part, for the most part, it all interacts very nicely with it. So I do appreciate they do the FAQs, and they're pretty up to they're pretty good with this stuff. So it like it clarifies all that, like, because we get just little things where we're like, am I dumb or can I not figure this out? I have those moments sometimes with just a couple little things. It's one of those games where you think it's over one round. Next thing you know, you're so back. The zombie game was like that. Well, I will say, with other armies, there are times where you could be down pretty bad, and it's almost like, well, there's not really much you can do. If you have a couple Totencore units and they're down to like 1 or 2 zombies, dude, you are not out. Because, like, all I had at the end of that game was literally Totencore. I think that was it. I think that was the only unit I had left was Totencore. And I was still there. I completely, because of me, like, nobody won. You know, I got to, like, completely make sure that the carrot, if Little Peacock's not getting the gigantic carrot, then nobody is. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. But I feel like with that particular, with the zombie armies, dude, like you really, it's fun in that regard where it's like, even everything else dies, you still got chips in the game, you know what I mean? Split fire weapons with different pen. Technically, I think the way it is now, you cannot split fire. Let's say so here's the thing. You have a British automated infantry squad, Mark II. There's 2 light autocannons and there's a heavy autocannon. I want to take my heavy autocannon, fire at the walker, right? That's within 6 inches. But I want to take the light autocannons, the 2 of them, and fire it at the infantry. You technically can't do that right now in Konflikt. We think that's dumb, so we've house ruled it, which I haven't brought it up, but I need to bring it up next time. I think the next game, because I play the British versus Rev's Russians, and I'm playing the Mark II infantry, for instance. We think it's stupid. It's like, because there are times where you have weapons that can't even damage the vehicle, so you want to shoot a vehicle with your autocannon, heavy autocannon, but you can't damage it with a light. So you either have to shoot one or the, you know, that's dumb. If there's an infantry unit next to a tank, shoot your light autocannons at the infantry and shoot the heavy autocannons at the tank. That's the way we play from now on. Technically, the way the rules are written, I believe, I think you technically can't do that. I think you can split fire if there's no pen and there's pen, but you can't split fire between weapons with different pen. That's something we got to bring up. That may be game design. We house rule it different because it just there have been scenarios where Rev couldn't shoot stuff because of it, or he could only shoot one thing or another, and it just seemed dumb to us, you know. So that's the way we roll it. We rule it in our house rules and stuff like that in our games. But I got to make sure I bring that up because I think technically in the rules you're not allowed to do that. So it's only you can split fire between non-pen weapons and pen weapons, I believe, is the way it's written. So you could have a HMG and a tank round can only go into the same thing, and the MMG can go somewhere else, I guess is how it, or something. That's the way I've been playing it too, and that's the way the group I've been playing with. Yeah, it seems like it's just... it seems like it could be like an oversight, you know what I mean? And just the way that it's written, it seems like they don't want you to do it, or you're not allowed to do it, but it seems like maybe they just didn't think about it or something with the way they wrote it. So, I don't know. That's something, I have a couple things like written down, but that was like one of the main ones that we've been trying to figure out. A couple other things we were like, oh, how does this work? And then we ended up figuring out with you folks on chat and stuff. Oh, you can't split. Yeah, and we also say you can't split between more than 2 units. Is kind of the way we've been doing it. So you can't shoot like 4 different units with your 4 guns. It's kind of like there's 2 units, you can shoot those or whatever. That's just the way. It's a bolt action rule. Yeah. That needs a tweak or something. I would be open, but I mean the way we've been doing is you can only shoot the 2 units. But if someone was playing, I was like, dude, I got 3 different guns. Can I shoot those 3 units that are all right over there? I'd be like, dude, whatever, you can do it. Just go ahead. I'm totally fine with it, you know what I mean? So if you ever find it confusing, I've always found that you can email Warlord's customer support and they're happy to get back to you. Oh yeah, they've been great. Yeah, for sure. It was added for RPGs. Okay. Derelic, hey, thank you so much, appreciate that. Thank you. We got a new video coming out next week. So things have been pretty busy. I'm in like, for the next month, I'm going to be tying roosterfish flies for fly fishermen heading down to Baja, Mexico. So that's what I do for a living, is tie saltwater flies. So I'm super busy, and I'm trying to make as much money as possible as I can at the moment, tying as many. So it's like hard. I'm like doing that, and that last video took forever. But what do you call it? We're like, we got a video for next week. We're going to figure something out, but we're kind of slowing down a little bit. But once that clears up, I'm excited. We're going to be, we have more games in the works. We have some different games. We want to try some Blood and Plunder. We want to try more bolt action. We want to do more Turnip 28. I really want to do more one-page rules. And not only that, but we can spend more time with Konflikt. One thing I would like to do is do like custom mission rules, or like come up with, like Gabriel said, they had a capture the flag game. That's a fantastic idea for a Konflikt game that we haven't done. So I would love to try that myself as well. So we're going to what do you call it? Rev's busy because he went back to work. I'm busy at the moment, but once things wrap up here in like near the end of May, I'm ready to kind of get back to a lot of hobbying and you know, trying new games and stuff. So, what about Trench Crusade? Have you thought of trying it? There was some of the first videos that actually got like decent amount of views. Like, you know, they had a couple thousand views. We have Iron Sultanate versus the New Antioch, and Iron Sultanate versus the Chaos. I have a Chaos army, and I have a Iron Sultanate army. The thing is, Rev was the only a person I had to play with it, and he liked the game, but he didn't like it as much. It wasn't his like cup of tea really. So I might do some like solo Trench Crusade stuff in the future. I really actually like the game and the mechanics and the blood markers and all this stuff. I know I don't like the way that they've handled things. I 3D printed all of their stuff. I had issues with a lot of their 3D prints with artifacts. It actually damaged my FEP or whatever, the protective layer, so I had to replace it. And like they seemingly aren't doing any 3D printed stuff or supporting that stuff in the future anymore with their plastic stuff. So they definitely, I'm on board with they fucked up. I'm just going to call it what it is. I was all for it, you know, and I know some people are like, oh, but, you know, politics or whatever. I don't really care what the company thinks or says. If they make a good game, I'm going to play it. But, like, you know, I got into the game because it's miniature agnostic, quote unquote, and it's like I could 3D print all the armies from the creators, and I could go to other creators that weren't like officially licensed and get really cool sculpts. But now because of the way they have all the like what do you call it? Their new licensing for official Trench Crusade, and they want to like copyright certain things and all that. That like really just kind of like, I don't know. That kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. That being said, I love the game, and I love the Iron Sultanate in particular. The Iron Sultanate, some of my favorite miniatures that I've like painted and printed in a while. The Azebs, I love the Azebs. They're some of my favorite miniatures that I've printed. Those are the ones that actually damaged the FEP though. They were really bad STLs because like the legs, something happened, and the leg didn't properly print, and like it artifact and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. Like, I thought we were going to be like a freaking Trench Crusade channel. I'm not even going to lie. That's what people were watching. That's what the views were. We did a couple videos. But then I got super busy with the fly time to my other YouTube channel and stuff, so we kind of slowed down with this channel. I'll probably revisit Trench Crusade for sure in the future. I might have to play it solo. I played solo games on the channel here before, and they always come out just as good. So, because I do them in my style of battle report. So, but yeah, I don't know. I got really bummed out, dude, from them not like supporting 3D print stuff anymore and going after like smaller 3D printer or 3D print artists. Because I have some assassins that, you know, they kind of look like the other ones, but they're their own sculpts. That's the sort of thing they would definitely go after, you know what I mean? In which I get it, but it's like, what, you know, it's hard to say what's copyrighted and not. It's like, just because it has like an Arabic look or something, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I do like the game, though. I do like the game. I will say that. Remind me sometime, but me and Jenny did a whole narrative campaign with custom missions, and our last mission was to secure a rogue site, and we had a giant rift tornado. Oh, hell yeah. Well, I may need to borrow some of those missions then for some videos. Well, they haven't. I don't think they have, but they have new rules where essentially it's very vague. You can either sign up or you're not allowed to have any sort of affiliate. You're not allowed to have any sort of naming. They're going to be I think the way they're copywriting is very aggressive in terms of like they're copywriting like essentially they're going to try and copyright or claim the like whole diesel punk style. So it's like if you have an Ottoman dude with like an assault rifle, you know, or something like that. I forgot. I watched there's all sorts of drama videos, but it wasn't this is from somebody that I actually that wasn't like some sort of like, you know, oh, Trench Crusade, blah 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 blah. but they were going over like the actual licensing, the creator licensing, because they were a creator that made Trench Crusade stuff or something, and it just seemed like it was very like it seemed like it was going against what their original messaging was. Like they wanted people to create STLs for the game. It was like, well, we have this, you can't do this. We did that, so you can't do this. And it was a little bit more than it would be for like normal like copyright stuff. Like in terms of like, it was very generic, word and phrasing they were using. So it just, that sort of thing just discourages people from making and creating stuff, right? If they fear that their STLs could be taken down from my mini factory, for instance. So I don't know, that sort of stuff, like it was just like a whole 180 flip. I mean, we could take a look. I don't know, we could take a look and see their Trench Crusade license, community license, that's what it's called. Let's take a look. Trench Crusade community license. We encourage creativity. We want supporters. Yada yada yada. So use of trademark or logos, which makes sense. You can't use like trademark, or you can't use the Trench Crusade logos on your My Mini Factory page, for instance, right? Which a lot of people do stuff like that. Which probably is nice, right? Because you want that thing. Unofficial content representation. So please make it clear your project's unofficial. Does not state you are or implying you're affiliated. So this is interesting. The statement includes labels such as compatible with. So you can't even have compatible with Trench Crusade. You're not saying it's a Trench Crusade mini. You can't even say it's compatible with, which is very interesting, you know what I mean? Because there's one exception to this, and that's a separate Trench Crusade compatible license that you can sign up for. Wah, 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 right. You need to add, this is an independent product, not affiliated. You may not register. So this is interesting. You may not register copyright, trademarks, patents, or other intellectual property incorporating the Trench Crusade IP, and you may not submit takedown, cease, and desist on any project. So, I mean, that makes sense, but the problem is they go over the Trench Crusade IP later. I think most of the hobby news and videos are just sensationalizing everything. True, and I'm not, there were tons of videos. There's people that hate Trench Crusade. They're like, oh, it's this left wing, whatever, this, that. But I saw this from creators of Trench Crusade stuff that they were worried about the community licensing. That's where my stuff was coming from here. And I watched a video from Trench House or whatever. You know, the boys at what's the name of their main Warhammer channel? I like their content. God, what's her name? Adrian, I think is his name. But what's the name of their main channel? Tabletop Titans, I think it is. I watched their video as well, which they were coming at it from a much, lighter tone because they work with Trench Crusade a lot and everything, as opposed to the 3D Maker I was watching. Right to share. You agree that we may use or copy, modify, distribute, and make derivative works of your project on a royalty-free, non-exclusive, irrevocable, transferable, sub-licensable world basis for any purpose without having given credit to you or pay anything or obtain your approval. That's nice. So a lot of this is normal, right? A lot of this is normal stuff, but it was later on in particular, and it was with the Trench Crusade community license, I think, or the compatible license, that the stuff that was really... Discourse Mini went over it, and she does do a lot of like doom and gloom stuff, but I mean, she was a copyright lawyer. She did a great video on this. I really recommend watching it. I mean, I will say she's not known for being like super positive, or known for being positive about talking about like Warhammer, for instance, or Trench Crusade, but she goes over the legalities of the wording in terms of copyright ruling or like law, and it really just seems shady overall. You know what I mean? That's just the thing that really turned me off. And I think it was specifically in this section. I don't know where it all is. I'm not an expert on this in particular, but there was a couple of things, and they may have changed it by now. I don't know. You can use the logo. Yep. For example, miniatures can be played as New Antioch. This model can be used as a proxy for a Goetic warlock. I think they wanted to, like, specifically, there was certain wording they were trying to use. Which, like, you could say, like, how could you even copyright that? Like, there were other games that did it before, you know? Anyways, I'm not trying to just jump on a hate bandwagon, and I'm not as articulate as, what do you call it? As Discourse Minis in the subject. But I really recommend watching her video. It was very well explained. There was just certain things in there that if I was a miniature maker and I, like, literally spent the past however many years making miniatures, or like the past year or so, like dedicating all this time and effort making miniatures for Trench Crusade, and obviously I'm profiting from it, but still Trench Crusade is also profiting from it in the value that I'm giving to the community. And then all of a sudden they flip this on it, and now I have to like take down all of my miniatures, you know, or like now all of a sudden they're not going to be found at all because I can't tag them in any certain way or whatsoever. That's the sort of thing that's like, I don't know, dude. That I really don't like. So, anyways, I recommend watching the Discourse Minis video. She did a great job, and she didn't do it in a way that was just like hating on them or something. So, I don't know where there was some stuff. I'll have to go back and take a look. We can go over it next time. This is interesting. Commercial project. So projects may not be commercialized or linked to a business entity in any way, shape, or form, with the exceptions as described below. This includes, but is not limited to, crowdsourcing any part of its funding or content with a paywall, for example, Patreon, YouTube Premium, etc. Commercial project exceptions. The following commercialization are permitted. We reserve the right to modify this list at any time. Content creation. So they were talking about this with Trench House or whatever. They were like, this is a little scary. Like, obviously we're here in like good faith that we can keep making videos on it, but I mean, actually technically, like, companies, like, I remember there was Escape from Tarkov copy striked a creator that was negatively reviewing the video game because of cheaters back in the day. Nikita Buyov, or whatever, the owner of Escape from Tarkov, or Battlestate Games, copy striked what's the guy's name? I think he's from Slovakia, I think he is. Erotic is his name. Erotic or something with a K. So, like, technically companies can, like, copyright strike you for making videos on their games and stuff. Projects that review, explain, or show gameplay of the tabletop game may finance their operations as they see fit. Example would be a podcast talking about a new release, a series showing a campaign being played, or how to play video. Ad revenue. Creators may promote their own projects on websites, streams, videos, and passively generate video through ad revenue. Well, that's nice. They let us make money off ad revenue. And gameplay streaming. As long as non-subscribers can still watch the games concurrently. Creators may solicit personal donations or offer subscription-based content while live streaming games, as long as non-subscribers can still watch the game concurrently. So does that mean you can't, like, you know how the, what's the name of the app? I have the app, Tabletop Tactics. They have their own app where you can watch, and they have exclusive games on their app you can't watch on YouTube. Does that mean you can't do that with this? I wonder if you actually can't do that. Like you can't. Let's say a Trench Crusade YouTube channel wanted to make their own app because they wanted to, do what like Tabletop Tactics did and expand their like business or whatever. I don't know if you can actually do it then. Specifically with that. Anyways, I love Trench Crusade. I think it's a great game. But I will say this, dude, they like definitely like screwed themselves with just in general with the community. So um oh yeah, 100%. People continue to play millions of GW every year, and they are some of the worst offenders against. Oh, 100%. That's one of the. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I 3D printed all my GW stuff, dude. They ain't getting a cent from me. I bought some of the models early in the day. That was before I learned how big cocksuckers they were. You know what I mean? I'd say give Trench Crusade another chance. They are moving forward is really great, and the new starter box is going to be insanely cool. Yeah, we'll see. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have $150 for a starter box. The starter box I got for Konflikt was the first miniatures that I bought, and I can't even tell you how long. And I'm a 3D printer because I just don't have the budget. I tie fishing hooks for a living, and, I live in New York. So it's needless to say I don't make a lot of money in general. So I don't have a lot of money to spend. One of the reasons why I don't play GW, because they're extremely predatory in their pricing. So unfortunately, that was one of the reasons why I really love Trench Crusade, and I love games like One Page Rules. I love games like Turnip 28 because they're miniature agnostic, because you can use existing models, you could use GW stuff from old games, you can make your own minis, like what I did with Turnip. And fostering an environment that allows people to make STLs freely, that's what I really like. So when they changed it, that's what I didn't like. But anyways, look what happened with Black Magic Craft. He had a debacle with AI art for his new game. Sometimes people just make mistakes. Yeah, I know. I saw that where he had like some issues with that. And I think as long as you disclose that stuff, that's fine. Me personally, I hate AI. Any sort of all the YouTube freaking thumbnails I see nowadays with AI, and I see it in the fishing community. So in the fly fishing, because I have my fly fishing YouTube, I see fly tires are using AI smallmouth bass and then have their fly, and their fly, it's the same slop. It looks like it's like ultra high definition, but like with this effect applied to it. Dude, I hate that. And now I see it in every single YouTube section, right? I see it even in the wargaming stuff, and it's fine. Like even Mordian does it. That's fine, right? But like I just personally don't use it, and it's funny because like right now it's like whatever, and Rev is all like, no, AI is great, dude. Rev wants to like, and we got Cosmic here. Cosmic makes the AI music. Rev's like playing. I'm like, get that AI crap out of here. And I love Cosmic, but I'm telling you right now, just enjoy it, because there's going to be a point to where you're going to have to go out and look for real people and their art and their videos, because it's just going to be all AI. It's just going to be like that. So it's, you're going to have to go like look and try and find like real shitty music like someone like me would make to wade through all of the AI music, and all of the AI crap or whatever. So AI is great, but I think it's, I think we're seeing it in real time, like dead internet theory is evolving. So it's just going to get to a point to where it's like, you guys are going to be bots. I'm going to be a bot. And there's like one dude in the chat who's a real person, and he doesn't know he's like talking to bots or something. That's good. The future, you know what I mean? The streamer's going to be AI, the chat's going to be AI, and it's just all going to be AI talking to each other, and we're going to be living under a bridge drinking Colt 45s. I mean, sounds pretty good to me. That being said, I love it. Like, AI is fun. It's a great thing. I love the Cosmic music. We were listening to it. It was fantastic. I was like, this shit's pretty good. But as like somebody who's a musician and I suck at making music, it pisses me off that you could just type in. I could come up with a whole rock song and like typing in like, certain things, tell them I want this style drums, I want this style guitar overdriven with chorus, right? Progression with these chords. It'll probably make better music than I can make right now. which pisses me off because I've spent 20 years playing guitar. You know what I mean? So, and trying to make music that didn't sound cringe. But anyways, that being said, that was my AI rant. I had to get it out of the way. And, yep, enjoy it for now. Enjoy the shitty video resolution and me ranting about Trench Crusade and not knowing half the things because in the future it's just going to be a goddamn AI chat GPT response streamer you're going to have, so. Anyways, chat. On that light note, now that we've really lightened the room and put a bright glimmer on the future, what do you call it? Now we're ready to end the stream. So, how can you hate on data? Don't dismiss them because they're bots. Down with the clankers! Down with the clankers! Sarah Connor was right. You're going to be the one holding on to the chain link fence when the nukes go off, Rev. That's all I'm going to say, okay? I'll be in the bunker with Sarah Connor, all right? Smoking hot 1990s Sarah, or 1980s Sarah Connor, and we're going to be drinking black cherry White Claws. Round of applause. All right, chat. On that note, Rev is actually AI. I've figured it out. That's also why he's so good at war games. He was compromised years ago. So. Whoa, we're about to end. But yo, Cosmic, thank you so much, dude. Round of applause. The 10 spot. Well, here's some more for support. I included some of those K47 pictures in a brief description. Hopefully they inspire you guys. K47 is such a great narrative game for big games and for big campaign games, bust or rift. They'll probably turn me into a Terminator at least. Well, you're on the good side. You and Rev are going to be turned into batteries or whatever, and you're going to be like praising the Omnissiah. I'm going to be in the trenches. There's going to be DJI drones with RPGs landing on it, and I'll be like crawling through bones, while T-1000s are stepping on the skulls. You know what I mean? But you guys will have the more comfortable life because you're good. You're good. What the hell were we doing? We're looking at the Discord. Hail the Flayer. Oh God. You know what? Remember the movie where there was that ghost ship or whatever? Do you know what I'm talking about? There was like the ghost ship where like there was like a technological virus and it turns machines, and the machines were like killing humans and using human body parts to make machines. I forgot the name of it, but I went and saw it in theaters. That's the shit that's going to be happening to you, Rev. Okay? Not me. First off, we got Clove Nemeski with some 3D printed guardsmen, some commissars. Hell yeah, 3D printer go Bert. Skirt. GW ain't getting a cent from him. And then we got Cosmic here. Well, I played the game versus Jenny and some things up. We battled over 3 objectives in the middle. Very nice. Some broken walkers, and I got a ton of Toten Rotten platoon. Was great having a large amount of zombies. It's a great way to put pressure on the objective once you get rid of their limited intelligence with the commanders and the medics or the mechs. It's very hard to shift the point. Also, anything damage value 6 or lower, including your own unit, has a chance to become a Toten core. And with your zombies constantly regenerating, it's very hard to shift the point. Even dedicated melee units like Bear Commissar eventually got pulled down by the sheer number of corpses. It's just funny to see I ended up nearly with as many, if not more. Oh my God. Hell yeah. Oh, dude, this looks sick. So these are like actual prints you guys use, but you just put the foam on them to make and added this as part of the terrain, I guess. Nice. Hell yeah. Oh, they look great. Look great on the table. Oh, we got Jenny's, what is this, Soviets? Nice. I love the red. The red and the tan. Looks sick. The hell is that thing? Oh, are these the bears? Are these the bears, and is that Commissar Drugov? That's what that is, right? Hell yeah. It's like a freaking wyvern or something. That's sick. Very cool. Nice. The board looks great. The board looks really good. This is the best part right here, though. This is the best part right here. Does sound like a cool. It does sound like I literally just combined the Matrix and modern day drone warfare and the Terminator. That's literally what I described. But yeah, probably would make a sick movie. Not gonna lie. Nah, oh there she goes. Went down. I love this dude with the freaking super glue. I know it's super glue paint paint caps. That's so great. This is my favorite one. I'll always say it. So you're assaulting, it looks like. Hell yeah. This is a narrative campaign you got, huh? Oh, is this in Hollow Earth? Oh, dude. Oh, I love it. Yeah, we might as well just... We got to have Hollow Earth and stuff like that. They're using proxies, I think. Death Claws from Fallout. That's what they are. Okay, cool, cool. Whoa! That's sick! Fucking mech dino. That's what we need in Conflict. We need a dino mech. I mean, you were in Hollow Earth, right? So. And see, where's the guy that says you need to play with a base because it's not fair when you don't play with bases? You would never be able to put your linebacker on top of a T-Rex mech. Like he's jumping off the building and kicking the T-Rex in the head. You could never do that with a base. To all the base lovers out there, right? And then look at that. He's stomping on it. Get fucked. Jenny made the zombie McDino, and you have the giant battle gorilla. Oh, that's sick. I want to do this. I want to do this now. I think I might need to steal that idea from Jenny in the future. And here's the tornado. Oh, sick. This is like a D&D thing, huh? Almost looks like. Yo, this is sick. I could make a video out of this right here, dude. Sheesh. Take some cool cinematic shots. Actually, bases are illegal, is what we determined. You're actually cheating with bases. Ah, we're fucking right. You could do it however you like. All right, chat. Yo, Cosmic, thank you again. Even though you are on the side of the AI overlords, it's okay. I still love you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you, though. Seriously, though. You don't ever have to... even though it's much appreciated, the super chats and all that, you guys just being here and hanging out really does mean a lot. So thank you for the new membership. Sean with the gift memberships. Cosmic with the super chat. Very, very kind of you guys. Very. See a guard tower? Yep. All right, chat. Well, what time is it? Holy cow, it's 10. So, thank you so much for hanging out. Not a super, long stream, but a kind of a good one overall, and chit-chat and going over some stuff. So, we have a new battle report that's probably coming out Wednesday. This one shouldn't be that hard for me to film. It's a little bit shorter, but, so it shouldn't be as hard. But, here's the thing. What do you call it? Normally we film on Sundays. We maybe tomorrow... I need to get a Fly Time video done. I need to get this new battle report done. Maybe tomorrow we take a break, and then more hobby time. You can get some more hobby stuff, and next week we'll film, is what I'm thinking. What I kind of want to do is I want to film a 1-page rules game. I might do a solo one and do it like cinematic or something over the week. But what do you call it? I need to get this battle report done. Normally what we do is film every Sunday, and then I edit it. And we're ahead schedule or something. Right now I'm just super busy, so I think we're good for this week. And then what do you call it? Probably for next week. Like I said, I really need to do a 1-page rules game, so that's something I need to do. So I might do one solo. I could have Revcom play one too, but we'll see. But no matter what, the other thing I kind of want to go do some fishing. So I've been so freaking busy. So what do you call it? Rev, tomorrow we'll get some hobbying done. I'll get editing done, and next week we'll film, what do you call it, probably another Conflict game or something. I don't know. We'll see. So always looking forward for another battle report to watch while working on more projects. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you folks for watching. That's the only reason I do it. If you folks didn't watch it, I wouldn't be doing it. We'd just be playing the games instead. So I just love making the content and knowing that people enjoy it. So that's always cool because it's in my mind. I'm picturing all this stuff happening, all these dumb voices and everything. So that's kind of the whole idea. We're just living it out on camera. So also real quick, this is why I want to go fishing, dude. This is my boy Zeke. Look at that. Nice striped bass, dude. Nice fish too. Nice fish. I don't even think that's on his boat. I think he's fishing from shore. But part of me wants to go out right now and go freeze my ass off and go fish the incoming, but that's okay. Anyways, chat, thank you so much for handing out. What do you call it? We'll see you guys next week for some more live streaming next Saturday, and we got a new battle report coming out. So thank you so much. We'll figure out something hobby related to do, either Konflikt, bolt action ish or something, or we'll do something blood and plunder. We'll start working on pirate ships and pirate crews for that. So, but thank you again, chat. I hope you folks have an awesome weekend. You take it easy. And I got some work to do, and hopefully, maybe I'll be able to get my first striper of the year, so we'll see. But all right, chat. Thank you again, Cosmic. Rev. Let's see. We had Boot Mountain. Thank you, buddy. Dr. or D-Relict. Appreciate it. And Patrick. Thank you so much, chat. You folks have an awesome night. You take it easy, and I'll see you soon, all right? Do you want Cause a Pirate? Do you want Cause a Pirate is free, you are a pirate? Yeah. I think that's the perfect quote to end the stream on. Perfect quote. Thank you, Cosmic. I know you didn't mean to type that, but that's how we're going to end it because it's perfect.